Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a review of this VAIMEST security wireless outdoor camera. This is a Wi-Fi home camera with motion recording. It's got audio, you can use audio for it. There's a spotlight on it and night vision. Just so you know, VAIMEST sent this to me so I can go ahead and do a review. So I'm not being paid for this, but I'm giving you information to help you make the best possible purchasing decision. So this is the camera itself. This is what you're looking at right here. And, you know, it is solar powered. So you're going to get a little solar panel that comes with it right there. That solar panel is about the size of like an iPad mini. And it has a little hole right there, a screw hole that where you could go ahead and screw the mount on for itself. All right. It does come hardwired, and then you would be able to plug that on into that. But there is the mount itself. It's a plastic mount, and it does come with some screws and some anchors. In this circumstance, we're going to be drilling into solid wood, so we won't need the anchors. We're just going to use the screws. And that'll be pretty much about it. So it'll be you know, pretty easy to go ahead and get this into our desired location. Okay, it is going to come with a mount for the actual camera and some screws itself. So there's screws and anchors for the mount itself. Again, we're going into solid wood, so we're not going to be using the anchors. But there's the bracket right there. And depending on how you have the camera positioned, that bracket is going to go a specific way, and you'll see me put it in right here. So this is, I would consider, I guess, the right side up, because it's, you know, we can put it on a table, but we're going to be placing it upside down. Now here is the wire from the solar panel to the camera itself, and to plug it in, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So what you should do is that little plug right there has a rubber. It's got like a rubber, you know, kind of like a seal. You want to pull that out and thread your wire through, and then of course, then you plug it in and then seal that up once again. That was something that we kind of had to figure out a little bit later. But here is, I guess you could say, the bottom of the actual camera itself, and this is where you would access the SD card slot. So you're going to want to get a micro SD card if you want to record the events of what you're doing, and you can go ahead and put this on in there. I think we used a 64 gigabyte micro SD card right here. There is a reset button right there too, so if you need to ever reset the actual camera itself. But yeah, once we put this in, you can record the events. This does have cloud recording, so you can get that at a subscription if you want to. Read more about that inside the app and in the instructions. You can learn more about it, and there's a lot of stuff in the app on the FAQs that you can go ahead and do. Now, we're going to go ahead and install this. This is a very simple installation. This is not a two-man job. This is a one-man job. It was just two-man because I had to film this video, but we just got that bracket and we marked our holes, and then we drilled some pilot holes, and we got our bracket. And then once we did that, shoot, it was pretty simple from there. We were able to screw everything on in and get that all installed. So once you get one screw in, it's pretty simple, and then the other screw will go on in. And then of course, what you're going to see here in a second is you're going to see us having it on the actual bracket itself. And it does have some screws that you would go ahead and fasten in on it for itself. All right. So depending on the positioning of how you want this camera, it's going to be up to you. All right. But we have it, I guess you could say upside down is how you want to say it. But we put that camera on the bracket, and then you could screw it on the sides right there. Okay, you could screw it in on the sides. One thing you should know about this camera as we're watching the installation is that before you install this camera, make sure that you charge the camera through an outlet first before you put it out in the sun, all right? That's what they recommend that you go ahead and you do. So we did that the night before, and it was fully charged and ready to use once we put the installation up. So make sure you do that. Don't have it charging with the solar panel itself. It might always be struggling depending on where you are. I don't know, but it might be struggling to get a charge. So make sure you charge it fully beforehand, and then it should make the job a little bit easier for you when it comes down to installing them. Now, as same goes for the you know, the solar panel itself. We drilled some pilot holes, and this is for the mount, the bracket itself. No, it's not the bracket. This will be for the mount. So it was pretty simple. And then of course, once we got that on, it was very easy. One tip that I would recommend that you do is make sure that you tie the wires up on the actual solar panel, and then you can screw it on to the actual mount itself. We didn't do that, and so we kind of messed up, and it took us a little bit longer to go ahead and install. But right here, we're just kind of figuring out where to go ahead and put the wires to hide them. We wanted to hide them, but we couldn't figure it out. We couldn't put it under that little piece right there, that metal piece. So we got some clips that we nailed into the side, and then once we did that, then we were able to have those clips kind of stay on the side. And then we were able to clean up the wire mess for the most part, and it made it very, very simple and very easy. You'll see here in a second what you're looking at. Now, as far as some of the features of this particular camera, like I said, it does have night vision. It has two-way talk on it. And it does have the ability to go ahead and record using all this stuff. Now we had to set this up, and we downloaded the app, and the app gave us this particular, it gave us this QR code to go ahead and put in front of the camera. So make sure that you do that.
Ready to begin pairing. Pairing information received.
And there you can hear that it is connecting. So get that QR code, put it in front of the camera, and connect it.
It's connected. Installed successfully. Fully charge the camera.
And there you can hear that, it had successfully paired with the camera. Now, once it did that, we were able to play with the camera a little bit. My dad was on his phone, and he was panning the camera back and forth, up and down. So you're going to hear me telling him to go ahead and pan it here in a second.
Pan it down. There you go.
So, you can see the camera moving up, down, left, right. It goes almost 360 degrees, which is a very, very cool feature. Something that we love having. And I can view this down here 2 hours away from his house, and he can view it right there at his house. Like I said, it has motion detection. So, once you get it all set to go, it should work. There was a dog that was running through the backyard at one point in time that another camera had caught, but this one didn't. So we had to kind of calibrate it to make sure that we set it up right. But for the most part, this camera is really, really good. My dad, whenever he's had it installed, he was like, hey, man, this is real security. He loved the fact that he had this because he can go ahead and look at it from any distance. Now, as far as the Wi-Fi is concerned, make sure you have this close to your router so that you can get a really good distance or a really good connection strength for your actual camera. Now, this actually right here, from where it is in the house, where the router is, you can actually get pretty good distance here, but he probably could use an extender. But for the most part, we didn't use an extender because we can get Wi-Fi right there to the camera. Here is an actual video of the camera itself. And there's a light right there. That's me turning on the light. As far, it was a great reason to go ahead and record this or to capture this because it happened to snow. And so, this is basically weather tested right here, and it worked out great. Of course it's underneath the awning, but we were able to see the snow and all that. And of course I was able to turn on the light and, and kind of pan back and forth. Now you're seeing it skipping, and I think that is because the Wi-Fi connection wasn't really all that great at the time. So again, you might want to get an extender if you want to get really good connection to the actual camera itself. But here you can see me panning down, and then I pan up, and then I zoom in, zoom out. It's really awesome. And then of course you can get some of the recordings that are on the actual app itself and download those recordings to your phone. And I use them here. I did a time lapse of the clouds and of the snowy house right there. You can go ahead and you can use that. And then of course here you can go ahead and see that we're just back to this right here. So this is what it is. So yeah, just really, I want to tell you that this camera worked out really well. It's been through rain, it's been through snow, and I'm able to kind of see what's going on. My dad has walked in front of the camera and it's activated. It does have like a little alarm that goes off, like police sirens. So you might want to change the settings on the app for itself. So go through the app and play with it and get comfortable with that. And it should really help you out. It's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, I hope this review helps you out.